Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user S593. That's S593, and he's driving the IS on a standard battle on Windstorm. Windstorm being the newest map that's been added to World of Tanks, and IS being a tier 7 heavy tank for the Russians. This thing gets a pretty nice cannon, as we'll just take a look at here. 122mm, 390 average damage and 175 penetration. Easily the match of any tank in its tier, as we are about to find out. So, 593 going to be heading to the southern area of the map immediately. Going to probably be taking up a position just ahead here, having a look over this bridge and seeing if he can snipe anybody out as they come across the bridge or set up on the opposite side. You can see just heading to the corner here and getting himself into a side scraping position. Will lure the enemy tanks into firing at that side armor. As you can see, spots out a Tiger 1 there, but just let down by his Russian accuracy a little bit and just misses the Tiger 1 a little. Can also see a VK lurking in the background. He's at a little bit of a too sharp an angle thanks to that KV3 coming and blocking him in there. So a little bit unfortunate, so he's going to just reverse behind the KV3, possibly get a little bit of revenge there. And then he's going to try and set himself up and maybe use that KV3 as cover rather than the wall itself. As we saw, the Tiger 1 across the way there is going to be able to lay down some good damage. Able to return fire, but not quite able to penetrate that one. That one obviously just hitting a tough spot of the Tiger 1. Also, a Black Prince has appeared now, and the Black Prince notoriously difficult to damage. Gets a good shot into the underbelly of the Tiger 1 there, and that one actually sets him on fire. And not really sure if he's got himself a fire extinguisher. I think he's just going to fully burn here. And that was quite a damaging shot. 596 damage to the Tiger, and he just burned fully there. So his tank is just going to be a ghost town inside now. Going to return fire on this Black Prince, but not quite able to get a second damaging shot on him. The Black Prince armor pretty troll at the best of times, and this KV3 does indeed fall now. Going to have another shot at this Black Prince, but that one again just being let down by his Russian accuracy and just missing that one, unfortunately. Now he's got to square off against at least two other tanks. But as you can see here, a sneaky Tog has snuck around the side somehow. So they haven't really posted many tanks around the center of the map. So this Tog has just been able to sneak through undetected. But as you can see, the Allied team's making a good push in the south, as the enemy team hasn't concentrated enough of their forces in that location. Just seeing if he can get a shot on this Tog. It looks like an M6 has come to offer some support. The two of them just going to try and charge this guy down. What I would think was going to happen is 593 just going to allow the M6 to take the hit there, come around the corner, rushes his shot just a little bit and plants it at the side of the building, so a little bit unfortunate there. And the reload speed of that Tog means he's going to have a much better time of putting shot after shot into the Allies here. Unfortunately, his penetration isn't fantastic. He's able just to bounce a shot, turn a shot aside from him, and then put one himself through there. This M6 isn't faring particularly well, and the Togs realised the error of his ways, and he started to back off. And he's all the way back now behind the buildings, but I think 593 is just going to charge him down here. And this Tog's got nowhere to go. Fires his shot and misses. Probably could have just charged around the corner and taken that one, but he's playing it safe anyway. Sets himself up in a side-scraping position. Bounces the next shot from him and then takes out the Tog for his first kill of the match. Looks like the Allies are needing a hand in the centre here and to the north. And in fact to the south they've been beaten as well. So this fight not going very well for the Allied team. This M6 just hanging around with the IS here. Going to try and bolster the numbers to the north. I don't think he's been spotted coming in here, so hopefully he can catch this AT7 off guard, and if he can, he's going to be able to make short work of him. There you go, puts a great shot through the side of him, and then he gets finished off by the Jagdpanther. But there is still two KV-1Ss moving in from the north, and they're only squaring off against a low-health Jagdpanther and a low-health T-43. So if the two guys had actually gone together and played it smart, they could have turned something around with that one. But as it is, just one KV-1S has gone in by himself, and the other one's camping in the back. So that first KV-1S just took a big hit there from 593 in the side. but it looks like the KV-1S was able to take out the Jagdpanther regardless. Now the Allied team's got to redeploy, set up a defensive line. As you can see, they're all sort of arrayed in a circle here. 593 going to be dueling with his Black Prince, where the Black Prince is going to have a much better reload time, and actually got an SU-100 M1 set up behind him, so he decides to hide behind the building and take his focus off the Black Prince, put that on the SU, take him out first, and then going to start dueling with this Black Prince. Black Prince doesn't quite get a penetrating hit. The cannon on the Black Prince lets it down just a little bit, and 593 is able to get his shot on target and take out the Black Prince for kill number 3. So evened up the score just a little bit here. It's 10 kills to 11. Although I would say that the enemy team probably has a better time of this one at the moment. Finds the VK. What is that one? A 3601. I'm going to see what cannon he has. If he's got the Cornish, then this could be curtains for 593 here, as that thing's got a great rate of fire and a fantastic penetration. And indeed, it does look like he's got the Cornish, but I don't think he knows how to use it. He only lands one damaging shot there, taking him down to 40 hit points, and 593 is able to take him out and pick up kill number 4. And now they've got a Jagdpanther closing in from the south, and there was a Hummel last spotted around here somewhere as well. So 593 is going to head all the way south and try and come around behind the Jagdpanther. We're just going to speed this one up again until we get back into the action. As you can see, cutting a wide path around here, trying to take the Jagdpanther by surprise. And actually, the Hummel is set up right in the Allies' area. So just going to take him out first and then go looking for the Jagdpanther. Don't want to get caught off guard by the Jagdpanther, because he's only got 40 hit points, and a single damaging shot is going to spell curtains for him and a trip back to the garage. Sounds like there was some shots landing close by, but we're not quite sure. Just having a scout around, the Jagdpanther was last spotted in this sort of area. It looks like the KV-1S in the north has done a good job. Finds the rear of the Jagdpanther, gets a shot through the wall, which was absolutely beautiful to take him out and pick up kill number 6. And that just leaves the IS, which was last spotted in the enemy base. So to be honest, he may actually be AFK. And if he is, this is going to prove a good, well-deserved victory for the Allied team. Pulling that one out of the jaws of defeat. At one point in the middle there, they were looking a little bit ropey, but then they managed to pull this one back. KV-1S cutting a very wide path around just in case. They're going to poke himself out and have a quick look. And there we go. There is the IS, and indeed he is AFK. Russian accuracy letting him down on that one, but hopefully the second shot is going to be a little straighter and a little truer, and indeed it is. KV-1S comes in from the side, but he should reload before the KV-1S, even though he missed that last shot there. Takes him out and picks up kill number 7 and 6,000 points of damage. So absolutely awesome replay there from S593. Thank you very much for sending that one in. And don't forget to stick around, guys, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Smarty. That's Smarty, and he's driving the Comet on a standard battle on the Tundra. Comet being a tier 7 medium tank for the British. This tank does get quite a bit of stick for being particularly weak in its tier. I think that's mostly due to its cannon, as it does have pretty good speed and maneuverability for a tier 7 medium. And not fantastic armor. And its cannon is absolutely atrocious. In fact, if we just take a look at it, it's only got 148 millimeters of penetration. And being a tier 7, you can come up against, well, you often come up against tier 8s, and sometimes come up against tier 9s. With 148 millimeters of penetration, you ain't going to do anything to tier 9 tanks. So this thing does catch quite a lot of flack. But when you get into it in a battle where you are top tier like this one, and the enemy decides to not put a single tank on the flank that you are on, then you can make some magic happen. So we're going to see Smarty heading all the way down the left hand side here, and like I said earlier, the enemy team decided to put nobody on this flank whatsoever. Most of the team heading to the corner on the right hand flank here. Smarty going to see if he can pick anybody out, but not quite far enough down the field just yet. Not able to get shots on anybody, so got to continue down this left hand flank. He's got a Wolverine and a Tiger 1 in support. But again, doesn't look like he's been spotted out here, but I can't remember if he has Sixth Sense or not. But nobody's sort of come over here, or nobody's tried to plant a shot in here, so I would assume that he is undetected as of yet. I'm going to continue moving. Does spot a Wolverine here. Just going to let his reticule close in. And when you come up against a Wolverine, it's nice because he's got no armor. So even with only 148mm of penetration, you're going to do some damage to him. Luckily, it looks like that Wolverine was actually AFK, so a nice bit of early damage for him. Spots the rear of a KV-1 here. And going to spend some time aiming, but as you can see, the Troll KV-1 armor coming into effect, doubled with the terrible Comet penetration here. Looks like he gets a critical hit there. KV-1 deciding to just put his turret on target and leave his rear facing in the direction of the damage. So I think he pretty much deserved to get whacked there, and he did indeed. And Smarty picking up kill number 2 now. Now it's going to be a case of heading in towards the enemy base and getting around behind the enemy. Spots out his counterpart, another Comet here, so just going to stay in the dip of the terrain as long as possible to deny this Comet shots on him. But going to keep him spotted because, like I said, he's got a Tiger 1 in support behind him. Gets a beautiful shot there to take out his track and do some damage, and that hopefully will leave him with his gun out of depression range. But it looks like he does indeed have the gun depression as he is firing down onto Smarty, but he's just not doing any damage himself. And there we go, finally gets a damaging hit onto Smarty, but he's only one shot away from death. The RNG of World of Tanks kicks in, and that one bounces. Now he's going to come up against an ARL. Luckily the ARL's got a lovely top hat on the top of his tank. Beautiful target for Smarty to fire at. Tries in vain to back away. Looks like he's finally managed to get behind a rock now. Smarty having a quick look to the left, see if there's anybody there who can fire upon him. Looks like there isn't at the moment. He's going to advance forward and probably try and come around the back of this ARL over that little ridge to the right hand side there. It looks like the battle for the hill has firmly got in the favour of the enemy team, so they're going to be sweeping onto the base any moment now. Smarty doesn't really want to go fully toe-to-toe with the ARL. Looks like he's got his top hat without getting into his gun's sights here, so that was a... oh, excuse me. That was an excellent piece of work there to take out the ARL without taking any damage back in return. Already picked himself up 3 kills and 1,500 points of damage, which is pretty good with this alpha and this penetration. Looks like there's a KV-3 still poised on the hill there. Smarty going to try and put some damage into his side armor, but the KV-3 side armor still very, very strong. And as you can see, he's not running with any premium rounds whatsoever. So if he can't penetrate the armor of this tank, there's really nothing else he can do but try and flank around behind him or to the side of him. Has a couple of shots at this T-43, gets a lovely bit of damage there, and this T-43 finally gets himself fully into cover. But that KV-3 is still steaming up the hill here, and someone's going to have to deal with him because the allied team isn't faring particularly well at the moment. Enemy team winning 10 kills to 9. You've got to be careful that this KV-3 doesn't just come up and wreck everybody's day. I'm not too sure where the Tiger 1's looking, as there's definitely nobody in that corner just over there. A little bit confused there. Hopefully the Tiger 1 isn't a bot, because he is Smarty's only hope now of taking the attention of this KV-3. But it looks like their base is being captured by at least 2 tanks here, so he's got to try and lay some damage down on those guys. Gets a lovely shot on that KV-1S, and he gets reset. Got to continue putting rounds into this KV-1S, as there's nobody else really presenting themselves as a target. Bounces that one. Looks like he's going to try and get a hit on this T-49. Gets a lovely hit on him, which resets the cap again. Can he take him out? Does damage him, but I think he's just faded away into the fog of war, because he was getting spotted by somebody in the area who has now died. Only needs one more hit on this T-49, but again, the penetration of this gun really letting him down. Looks like the Tiger 1 is just absolutely face-hugging this KV-3, and Smarty decides to come around and be a pal, put him out of his misery. Just 5 seconds left on the clock now, and gets a beautiful reset on that KV-1S to save the game, and now it's hoping that the Hellcat in the background there can do something about this. So this is going to be a disastrous loss, and there we go. Somebody gets a reset there. I'm going to say it was probably the Hellcat, but this one's still not looking like it's all sewn up now. Still only 10 seconds left on the clock. This Hellcat's going to have to hit somebody else if he wants to get a reset, and he does indeed, coming up big when it matters. And he gets a reset and somebody else. Smarty's going to be coming up the hill here. It looks like the Hellcat's got this one. It doesn't look like the enemy team has enough cover in the cap circle. Smarty's coming up to try and duel with his T-43. He's got the hit points to do with it. Unfortunately, he was ammo racked, but he's used his repair kit to fix that up. He's got to get around the side of this T-43 because he's got no chance of penetrating the front armor of this thing with that cannon. Unfortunately, just taking out the tracks there. One more shot should be enough to take out that T-43, and indeed it is, and he picks up kill number 6 and a well-deserved Top Gun medal. So it looks like that Hellcat is just wreaking havoc in the cap circle now, taking out that T-49, and there's only one tank left in there, which is that Tiger 1, and everybody, well, not everybody, not the looks, but the Hellcat and the Comet of Smarty here going to be making a beeline for this Tiger to try and be the first one to take him out. Looks like that Hellcat's going to reach there first, but hopefully Smarty can get in there for a little bit of damage himself, as he has trekked all this way. Hellcat gets a nice first shot on him. It looks like Smarty's going to be foiled by the terrain here as the Hellcat takes him out. And that just leaves the IS left. I'm going to take a quick look now. Looks like the IS is actually on almost full hit points. Looks like he's got 1100 health there. So Smarty's only got 700 himself. That Hellcat's not faring particularly well, and the looks not really going to have much luck trying to penetrate any part of the IS's armor. Could probably get some shots through the rear. Well, probably the side as well if he's got the cannon that has the 95 penetration on it. But everybody just going to be closing in on the cap circle here. Not really sure where the IS is. He was last spotted in this area, but it looks like he has relocated. The look's going to be sweeping all the way around the back, going to be taking the long route to try and get some eyes on the cap circle and find out where this IS is. Hellcat going to be coming around from the riverside, and Smarty going to be coming in from this side. So trying to do some kind of pincer move, although the looks has stopped now, so he's not really providing any kind of spotting benefit from where he is. And there we go. The Hellcat spots out the IS. He was waiting on the little ramp towards the river. Gets a good hit onto him. It looks like the IS is putting most of his focus in this direction. But after taking that hit from the Hellcat, he's decided just to go down the ramp here. Maybe try and get a shot on him, but that's going to allow Smarty to come up from behind. Unfortunately, just lands one flush on the engine deck of the IS there and doesn't quite able to get any damage. IS plants his shot into the ground here, and we know he's got about a 10-second reload, and there's still the Hellcat, this Lux, and the Comet of Smarty here. IS looking like he was thinking about going for the Lux there, but realised that the Lux is just going to be way too fast. Smarty, you can see, trying to focus on his track, but the accuracy of this cannon really not coming up when it mattered. And there we go, finally takes out his track, and the Lux being a pal, and parking himself behind the IS so he can't go anywhere, and the three of them just work him down. The Hellcat picks up the kill in the end, and that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Smarty, picking himself up 6 kills and 3,000 points of damage, which ain't bad with the Comet. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. Just send me the replay file or the link to the What Replay website where I can find your replay. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, informative, you liked it, or you learned something, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content to come in the future and already in the past. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Leave me a comment and a like if you want to say something constructive. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.